Okay, let's talk about photography because we get couples that say, "Oh, I just want something simple." You know, they're trying to save money, this, that, and the other. We understand. It's fine. It's fine if you want to save money. I mean, clearly you're already saving a lot because you're doing an all-inclusive wedding package. You're doing an elopement style wedding. And so, okay, that's fine. But when it comes to photography, we've seen a couple of things. We see where people don't want a photographer at all. And then we see people that say, I found a photographer on Craigslist for $200. So let's talk about both situations and what your thoughts are.
And you know this, the ones that have their friends or someone they know, like you
They know.
there with, I think
A family member wants to take photos,
for
right?
your sister's wedding that had a good photographer. They were like a fashion photographer.
Yes.
They shoot her wedding. It's a disaster. I mean, we've seen this so many times. Even wedding photographers, it's so tricky. It really is with the photography. It's very frustrating for me that they don't listen. Like they just look at the price, they write it off. They're like, oh no, I'm not, because we charge $650 if you're not doing a package with us. The first hour photography is $650.
An hour for an hour of photography.
The first hour. The additional hours are $400. But I don't know if you can hear this. It's very annoying. But we talked about this last week. I've seen supposedly really good photographers, renowned photographers. I've seen their websites. They look very impressive. And then
very polished.
Yes, two things that happen. I've seen it happen. So there was this one couple, they hired us to do the 620 Loft and Garden for them, that wedding. And he said, oh, they're bringing their own photographer. They found a photographer. And it wasn't that they were being cheap. They were actually, I'm pretty sure they paid a pretty penny, because I went to the website and I saw it was a fancy, photography studio.
Sure.
Well, guess what? The day comes, I'm there, I'm waiting for the couple, and I meet the photographer. He's there first. It turns out the person who came to shoot their wedding from this fancy studio, photography studio, he's the guy who was he sits at the office and does...
Oh, the assistant, the photographer's assistant, and he sent him.
He does the paperwork, I don't know if he does the editing, I don't know what he does, but he says he works there, at the office Monday through Friday. This obviously was a Monday through Friday wedding in the morning, as we do them at the Loft and Garden, So it was like 11 a.m. on a Thursday. So the big shot fancy photographer sent some guy that works for him. I promise you, I talked to the guy. I didn't see the photos, but he was not a seasoned photographer.
Wedding photographer, right? He wasn't a seasoned
photographer. He was not
at all. Just nothing. Okay.
So he's doing he's doing, and you can tell when a photographer stops you too many times, that he would stop the couple and make them, and then he's doing weird things, like he's climbing places and trying to get. What are you doing? Anybody who's been
the distraction
enough, but you have a flow, you just can tell. And then I see, there's an ease about it. That's what you want. Someone I can tell, I didn't see the photos, but I can tell this was not their the first one.
What the couple had hoped that they had paid for. So and you're right. I mean, there's a skill to shooting weddings. And you mentioned my sister's wedding earlier. She got married a few years ago, and they had a friend who is a very good, very well-known fashion photographer here in New York City. And he says, yeah, sure, I'll do it. He gave him a price break because they did pay him. You see his work and it's incredible. But for the wedding, there were no group photos of family. There were no photos of the ring exchange. There were, just pictures that you think about later and say, why didn't I take a picture with my dad? Or, something important like that.
Right. Right.
And so, and the angle, I remember because I officiated the wedding, and I remember he was off to one side and he didn't really move around. So all the pictures are the same angle.
Wow.
Yeah. So unfortunately, like I said, the man is incredible when it comes to fashion photography, but not for wedding photography. And all the photographers that we use, you've already vetted them. What about the couples that say, I don't want photos? What do you have to say to them about that?
That's always a surprise. And I had a few also this summer, this season. And they did my just the ceremony package, which is $750. And they didn't do photos. And every time that happens, I assume they have their own photographer. They're bringing someone. And I had a few couples this year that they had no photographer. They just have family with the phones. Granted, we have great phones nowadays. I mean, they take amazing photos. But I was surprised. I have to say, I was really surprised because I thought the only reason why you wouldn't do photos is because you want to save money. I can't think of any other reason.
Right. And then I think they end up having, it's like their biggest regret. Well, why didn't we just pay for it? And now I have nothing to show for the most important day of my life with my spouse.
Yes.
And all I have is whatever I remember in here, and maybe a few shots, on my iPhone.
Yeah.
So we definitely tell our couples to consider getting the photographer if it's not included in your package.
And don't think about it as a price per hour. It has nothing to do with that. This is not, and honestly, I don't think I know how to sell. I don't sell it properly. If I were a salesperson, I would really get into the nitty-gritty of what that represents, right? What you're paying, the $650 that you're paying for a photography, a real photographer, is a lifetime of memories. It's a guarantee that the photos will be just perfect, not out of focus. No, they're not going to interrupt anything. My God, I mean, I've done so many weddings, as you know, and I've seen it all. From a photographer with BO, which nobody thinks about that, right? That's not something that could happen. Well, it happened. It was a Russian dude. They hired him. The couple wanted to save money, evidently. I'm sure they saved a lot of money. And the guy is shooting, it was summer, and it was just repulsive. And he's obviously very close to us. I'm the officiant. I'm doing the ceremony. The couple is in front of me. This guy is moving around us, and he smelled terrible. BO. That doesn't come up in his website when you're looking at his pictures.
Right. Then, we had that girl that showed up in sweats.
Oh, that's all the time. Oh my God, that's 90% of them they're wearing because they have to be comfortable. So they have sweatpants and sneakers all the time. That's. I'm not surprised about that. Then another one. Wait, I just lost it. I was thinking about. Oh, which one was it? It was the guy with the BO. Oh, the other guy, an older dude. I don't know where they got this guy from. It was a gay couple from Argentina, male gay. And again, they hire us. They hire me, the $750, just the ceremony. They didn't hire photography. They're bringing their own photographer. They found him, I don't know, Craigslist. I don't know where. They said online. Oh, my God. He was an older man. I don't know how old he was, 60 and up. I don't know. But older in the sense of older, old school, older.
Yeah.
And anyway, he wasn't discriminatory or anything. He was a sweet old man, but you can tell he was a little taken. He didn't know it was two guys, number one. So
I remember.
Much,
and
right?
he didn't know how to pose them because he was
so used to
posing a man and a woman.
First of all, he comes in, he thinks I'm the bride. I said, no, I'm the minister. And then the two guys come and say, no, this is the couple, you're shooting them. Oh, okay. So I'm doing the ceremony. Wait. And this guy, because he's so green, he's so inexperienced, it was really so irritating. He kept stopping the ceremony. Them. So, at the time when they're exchanging rings, oh, wait, go like this, put like this, and do like this. And I had it at one point. I said, listen, no, it's enough. If you need them to post, we finish the ceremony and they'll post for you
afterward.
Like, you know, I mean, you're messing up the moment. The whole point is for this to be romantic, and they're exchanging vows and they're exchanging rings and they're looking into each other's eyes. I cannot have, you know, some old dude
interrupting
in the middle and Jesus. And then, so then they did, it was terrible. And I felt so bad for them that I accompanied them during the photo shoot to try to help them and help them with the posting. And these poor guys, you know, they felt, it was so awkward, you know, and they felt awkward. They felt funny. And they were both businessmen, accomplished businessmen from Argentina. And it was just, I'm like, what are you doing? I understand the money, I understand. But seriously.
Right. And these are the things that people don't typically think about, but that we, because of all the experience that we have doing all these weddings, we want to mitigate that. We want to make sure that people don't go through these situations. And so all the photographers that we do work with, you've picked them. I mean, we've got a really strong team now. They do amazing work. You can look on our website and everything you see there.
Yeah, and personality matters, which is, again, something nobody thinks about. So the people that have, the 3 girls that work with me, not only are they fabulous as far as the photos that they deliver, but they're also sweet and kind and easy to work with, which is really important. It's something that, you know, sometimes people just don't consider. Because I also have experience of seeing this fucking divas as photographers, and I don't know who the hell they think they are. I've seen it. It was like they'll make you scared. So you're missing. You're not considering all the other stuff that also goes with it, because now you're tense and you're uncomfortable.
Right.
What is the point? And I promise you, my photographers will get exactly the same result, but without you, seamlessly. You don't even know what's happening. That's a talented photographer. Yes, and it took me years. And you know, you're my witness. I pay whatever I had to pay. Some of them are expensive and they raise their prices. And I'm like, I don't object to that. I understand. I value them. And I understand what they charge and why they charge it. And they're worth it.
But it's so worth it.
It is worth it. And you know, we get a lot of photographers reach out to us and they want to work with us, and I see their work and I'm like, okay, and we give them a chance. It happened, just happened with 3. Coincidentally, it's always men. So far, I haven't found a guy that was equally good as my 3 girls. So right now I have 3 women.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? I mean, I don't know.
They all think they're fantastic. Oh my God, how they sell themselves. And they show, you know, in the website, it looks really good. And then they come to work and I'm like, are you joking? Like the last one, again, I don't want to mention names, but was it 2 hours or 1? I think it was a 2-hour. And it was really annoying. You know, he's a really nice guy, very nice guy. I like him. But I had to tell him, can you shoot more? Can you do some like this? Can you? Oh, I got enough. I have enough.
I think I have the shot. I think I have the shot. And it's like, no, we need more shots.
I hate that. Like, that's none of your, you know, you're saying the wrong thing. Don't tell me you have enough. That's not your call, whether you have enough or not. It's
the couple's
call. Yeah. I'm saying you don't have enough. I could come up with 10 new scenarios where you can do photos. You can do the hot dog stand, you can do the streets, you can do that tree, you can do this tree, you can do the bench, you can
the
do
bridge, the path. I mean, I
can come up with a bunch of, and if I can come up with them and you are not coming up with them, you're not that good. So I never call him again. You know, very nice guy, and they asked me, and do you have work? Yeah, I have, but I don't want you in it.
Okay. All right, well,
you hire the photographer through us, and you guarantee a good product because they've been vetted, like you said, and I'm constantly vetting. If they drop the ball in the last wedding, they are not getting hired for the next one. So nobody drops the ball because everybody wants consistency, continuity. They want a stream of work, and we provide that
Right,
for them.
right.
And that's the difference between hiring a company like ours and hiring Joe Doe,
Hiring, going out and trying to find your own vendor. Right. And I think
so they don't have much to lose other than a so-so review that you might leave. But you'll never leave a bad review anyway. I mean, you'll always find a photo that you like, I guess.
I think so. All right.